Hi everyone. We recently updated Mito's agent feature, so today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on how we can use the AI chat, the new agent feature, as well as the Mito sheet to do some data analysis. As we can see here, I've gone ahead and uploaded my data into a new Mito sheet within a new Jupyter Notebook tab. Today I'm working with some A/B testing data. This is all synthetic data with information about users, what type of email variant they received, A or B, and then information about the user themselves. So sign up date, whether or not they're mobile, if the email was opened or not, and whether or not they clicked. As you can see here, we have different types of data. We have whether or not they're mobile when in Boolean format with true or false. And then we have email opened with integers, as well as clicked with integers, so 0 or 1, binary variables here. Our sign up date here could also be cleaned up. This is a pretty difficult data format to work with, and it might be nice to change this to data time format. I'm going to use the agent feature as well as the AI Copilot to help us do both of these things. I'm going to start off by doing some data cleaning and standardization with the agent feature. I'm going to type exactly what I want it to do into the agent chatbot here on the left side of the screen. So I'm going to say, let's start off by doing some data cleaning and exploratory data analysis, EDA, on the email A/B test dataset. I want to convert sign up date to date time format is mobile to a binary integer. And I might just leave it at that for now. I'm going to hit submit, and within a couple of seconds, the agent feature will completely take over my screen and work through the steps to do exactly what I requested by adding code on the right side of the screen. As you can see here, it's already converting is mobile to binary integer format and displaying the first few rows to confirm the conversion. It looks like we can compare quickly. Maybe we'll do that once it's done, actually. Now it's doing some descriptive statistics, and it seems like it's completed. Let's scroll back to the top to understand exactly what was done. It seems like it started off by converting sign up date. So convert sign up date to date time format and display the first few rows to confirm. Perfect. Now it's going to convert is mobile to binary integer format. So we have all ones up at the start, and let's go back and confirm all true. Perfect. And here we have generative descriptive statistics. So we can understand the count for each sign-up date, means, minimums, and quartiles as per usual, as well as max and standard deviation. It's also giving us a histogram with the distribution of clicked variable. Perfect. Understandably, much fewer people had click-through rates than didn't. Now let's actually get into the meat of the data analysis. Within just a couple seconds, we were able to do EDA as well as any sort of data cleaning that was necessary. But now I want to develop linear regressions to understand which variables are predicting click-through rate. I'm going to go back to my original spreadsheet to just confirm. Perfect. And I want to say, let's do linear regressions to understand which variables of sign up date is mobile, email opened, predict click-through rate, separate by group A and B. So here we're doing a little bit of a variation on a typical A/B test. We want to understand which of the three variables we have are predicting click-through rate and how that might depend on the type of variant of email that the user received. Once again, I'm going to hit submit, and the agent is kind of going to take this prompt and run with it. I don't need to touch my computer or anything like that. It's just going to come up with the steps and put those on the left side and come up with the corresponding code and put that on the right side. Awesome. So it looks like it's already setting up the linear regressions. And it's splitting group A into testing and training data sets, which is pretty typical for any sort of machine learning. Great. Let's do a read through of everything that was done. It seems like it started by encoding the variant as dummy variables and then isolating groups A and B, which is typical in an A/B test. They then prepared and split it into training and testing data sets. Awesome. It looks like the regression model was defined, and they continued by setting up and fitting the same for group B. Perfect. And then I'm being outputted with pretty typical, where did that go? Pretty typical information about the coefficients and the intercept. I want help analyzing the actual results of this, so I'm just going to copy this and bring it over to the chat and say, how should I interpret this information? The chat is really helpful for more specific questions or problems where you want to be working collaboratively with the AI feature. It's also great for explaining code or explaining any sort of results. This is super helpful. All right, so it's telling us what the coefficients and information are for group A and group B, as well as interpretation. It seems like both the coefficients are small, so it seems like none of the predictors necessarily have a significant effect on the clicked status. That's unfortunate, but we can still develop some visualizations to show what we found. So I'm going to go to the chat and say, how can we display the differences in click-through rate between A and B visually? And submit. One thing I really like about the AI Copilot is that you can overwrite active cell instead of copy pasting, so you're getting rid of any of that copy pasting error. As you saw, I just overwrote the active cell and I'm hitting Shift Enter to run that. It looks like here we have the daily click-through rates by variant. There isn't any visually evident pattern right off the bat, but we can also customize this visualization in order to show us what we want. So I'm going to say, let's change this from a line graph to a heat map, for example. Awesome. So I'm going to go and overwrite the active cell again and Shift Enter to run. We have a bit more of a complicated heat map, and it looks like it's not able to fit in those data labels. Let's say I want to remove the data labels. Let's remove the data labels on the map itself. And let's just, for the fun of it, change the colors. And submit. And what I can do is actually go back to that initial heat map code cell and just overwrite it. So anything in green here will be added, anything in red will be rejected. I'm going to hit accept and then Shift Enter to run it. As you can see, we have the heat map with the updated colors. It looks like it's stuck with just green, but it's explaining to us here on the left side why, and it removed the labels altogether. Just to recap, today we did 2 different visualizations, a line chart and a heat map, and we also ran a linear regression on the A/B testing data set to understand whether we can predict any of the variables having a relationship with the click-through rate. This is just one example of how to use the updated agent in combination with Mito's AI chat and the Mito sheet. Let us know if you try this out or if there are any other use cases that would be helpful. Thanks for listening.